Hi everyone, this is Ms. Dreesen. In this set of notes, we will be learning about the properties of water. By the end of these notes, you should be able to answer the question, how do water's unique properties allow life to exist on Earth? This content will cover Learning Target 5. I can describe the unique properties of water, including cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension, and explain how they affect water's chemical behavior. I encourage you to take Cornell notes using the template we've provided. Let's start by reviewing what we learned in yesterday's Cornell Notes on Learning Targets 1 through 4. Yesterday you learned about polarity, which is the unequal sharing of electrons. Water is a type of polar molecule because the electrons spend more time around the oxygen atom than they do around the hydrogen atoms. This gives the oxygen atom a slightly negative charge and the hydrogen atoms a slightly positive charge. The relative negativity of the oxygen atom and the positivity of the hydrogen atoms result in water molecules that organize themselves in such a way that they can hydrogen bond between the positive hydrogen of one molecule and the negative oxygen of another. As a result of this hydrogen bonding, water has some very unique and important characteristics for life. We'll be learning about cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension. Cohesion is the attraction of water molecules to other water molecules. When you think about the prefix co, it means together. So this essentially means water molecules attracted together. In comparison, adhesion is the attraction of water molecules to other molecules or substances. The prefix ad means opposite. So if we take a look at our picture, when we think about cohesion, it's where two water molecules are attracted to each other, which is represented here by them holding hands. And here we see two walls made up of a different type of substance. And so these water molecules holding onto that wall or other substance is adhesion. Please make sure you've labeled the video or labeled your image and also described or defined each term. Surface tension is created when water molecules hydrogen bond to each other. This allows for some really unique characteristics. Let's take a look at this video of the miracle lizard running on water. So essentially, because of the hydrogen bonding and surface tension and the speed at which the lizard runs, it is allowed to stay on the surface of the water. So what properties of water causes what is shown in the images on the next slides? How does water get all the way from the roots in the ground to the leaves at the top of trees against the pull of gravity? Let's learn about xylem. Xylem are vessels within plants that transport water. So if you were to look at the molecular structure of a tree, this is also found in other types of plants, but we're going to take a look at trees. There are essentially these cells that are kind of like highways or tubes, and they allow water molecules to enter through the roots and travel all the way through the roots up through the trunk of the tree, all the way to the top. And it's because of these properties of water that allow that to happen. For example, water will stick to the xylem walls through the property of adhesion. Water will stick to each other due to cohesion. And through transpiration, the pulling and evaporation of water out of the leaves at the top, through transpiration, we essentially have this attraction of the water molecules being pulled together. It's kind of called transpiration pull, actually. And it all has to do with adhesion and cohesion and these properties of water. We're going to watch this video, and I want you to add to your notes when you learn about, for example, transpiration, adhesion, and cohesion for plants. And then I want you to also describe the importance of water as a solvent.
Have you ever looked at a really tall tree and wondered, how does the water get all the way up there? I mean, it's got to go against gravity. Gravity? Well, in our plant video, we talk about the xylem. It's vessels within certain types of plants, like trees, and these vessels transport water. But what's really neat about water is that it sticks to the xylem walls in what is known as adhesion. And this helps fight gravity. But water molecules, with their hydrogen bonding, they also bond to each other in something called cohesion. It's almost a beads on a string kind of fashion. Water molecules evaporate from a leaf, and then the next water molecule in line is pulled upwards, and so on. This cohesion is really a big deal. Cohesion is also a reason that water striders, one of our favorite insect types, can skate on water. Cohesion contributes to the surface tension of water. Water actually has quite a bit of surface tension compared to many other liquids. And it's not just water striders that can walk on water. There are a lot of insects, spiders, and even larger animals like reptiles and some birds that have the ability to walk on water. So, to the Google for that. Now, with water being polar, it's also a very powerful solvent for other molecules. And that means that water can dissolve many other molecules, especially polar molecules and ionic compounds. Now, why does that matter? Well, this is really important because many of the processes that occur in organisms use water as a solvent. In our body system video, we talk about the function of kidneys, and you definitely couldn't have kidneys doing their function without water. Also, a main component for body fluids is water. I'll never forget when I was little, my father built us a pond. We had some goldfish in there, and I loved this pond. Well, in West Texas, where we're from, it can freeze in the winter. And one morning, I went outside, terrified to find that the top of the pond had frozen. And I thought our fish were goners. Only to find out that they were swimming and doing their fish activities under the ice layer. It's common for many substances to actually contract when they freeze and to become more dense. But water expands when it freezes and becomes less dense in its frozen state, resulting in floating ice, where it can actually make this insulated surface layer that makes a difference for many organisms underneath. And this is due to the hydrogen bonds. See, at freezing level, the making and breaking of hydrogen bonds, which usually happens pretty often, it's not happening very much when frozen. And so the molecules, they're set into this lattice of hydrogen bonded molecules, just far enough apart that it's less dense in ice form than it is in water form. And that's going to be very important for all of that aquatic life. Speaking of temperature, water resists changing its temperature. It has what's called a high specific heat. Specific heat, it's a measurement of heat that's needed to be absorbed or lost for 1 gram of a substance to change its temperature by 1 degree Celsius. And that's why on the first day that school is out in the summer, it may be super hot outside, but the water could still be pretty cool. It's really good that water's like this for life. It's stabilizing for aquatic environment temperatures. And it also means that water can absorb a lot of heat in the summer without reaching as high of a temperature itself, which is useful when winter comes along, because then the water can release heat as it cools in the winter. This also impacts the environment. Now, still on the topic of temperature, consider evaporation. Many animals rely on evaporation to cool them. Think of water molecules. They are moving, but those that have more heat energy, they are moving the fastest, and they're the more likely molecules to make the phase change to gas. And these molecules, as they leave, their energy, their heat, is no longer on your skin. And by the way, all of this is not just animals, too. Plants use evaporative cooling to aid them in hot temperatures. Excessive high temperatures could be very dangerous for many different processes in both plants and animals. It can be damaging to the enzymes involved in those processes. So, that evaporative cooling is very important. Well, we went through a lot of features of water. Definitely something to consider next time you encounter it, which, based on how much we depend on water, will likely be soon.
So let's take a look at some static images to review what we've been learning. In this picture at the top, here and here, you can see surface tension due to cohesion between water molecules. In this image, you can see something called capillary action. Capillary action occurs when adhesion is occurring between water molecules and the glass of these tubes. And what's interesting is that as the size of these tubes decrease, what do you notice about the relative volume of water? You can see that the height of the water increases as the tube decreases in size. And this is essentially what's happening when we think again about xylem and trees. Because the xylem channels are so small, it allows this process of cohesion and adhesion to pull that water up those biological tubes. Here we can see the process of cohesion and adhesion applied to droplets of water on a spider web. Let's take a look at this video to see another example of cohesion and adhesion and surface tension.
So now Dan's going to fall directly backwards, Inception style, into the water.
Try not to wind myself, die, or hit the bottom of the pool. Or get electrocuted. Hey.
Yeah.
Ow!
So it's pretty amazing here. You can see the properties of surface tension and the attraction of water molecules to each other as they form this shape as he falls into the water. Here's another example. I actually want to rewind this to show you the feature that I think is most important. Okay, watch carefully as they enter the water. Do you see that bubbling around the body? That is essentially what we're looking at.
And just an object hitting a water surface is very complex, and one sees higher and higher levels of complexity with faster and faster cameras. The goal here is to see something that no one has ever seen before.
And what Bush sees is astonishing. Water doesn't do what we think it does. When you pour water into water, the last droplets do a very quick but amazing dance. It's invisible in human time, but we can see it here. Scientists call this phenomenon the coalescence cascade.
You take a drop of water and you place it on a water bath. You ask 1,000 people, and 999 will say simply goes like this. It basically merges with the underlying bath.
Exactly half of the droplet disappears into the water underneath. The other half becomes a smaller droplet that shoots back into the air.
And then it dumps its contents again, and now a drop of a quarter the size jumps up, and it keeps going. We've seen as many as 7 such events in that coalescence cascade.
The water droplet acts a lot like a bouncing ball, because the hydrogen and oxygen atoms have an especially strong bond.
Let's take a look at what happens in space.
That's so wild. Try to push it in. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it made it out the other side. A little too hard. That is wild. There, I think it's gonna stay in now. Yeah, but you gotta get it going back down. Okay. What else can we get inside there?
All right, in this next video, we're going to watch a little bit more about capillary action.
Today we're going to do a cool water experiment. It's pretty cool. cool water experiment. This experiment uses the capillary effect. The capillary effect is the movement of a liquid along the surface of a solid caused by the attraction of molecules of the liquid to the molecules of the solid. For this experiment, you need 2 glasses, colored water, and a paper towel or a tissue paper. First, take 2 glasses. Put them side by side. Now, fill one of the glasses with the colored water. Now, grab the paper towel. Pinfold it or fold it in the middle. Dip one of the ends of paper into the colored water and put the other end into the empty glass beside it. Leave it this way for a few hours. You can observe that the colored water gets transferred into the empty glass through the paper towel. The water keeps flowing into the other glass until they attain an equal amount of water in both of them. Now let's take a closer look. Molecules of water are naturally attracted to each other and form temporary hydrogen bonds with each other. Their attraction for each other on the surface of a solid gives rise to surface tension. These molecules are also attracted in a similar way to other molecules called hydrophilic molecules, such as those in the fibers of a towel. These attractive forces can draw water upward against the force of gravity to a certain degree, which explains the transfer of water into the empty glass.
So in your notes, please summarize your learning. Your learning was about Learning Target 5. I can describe the unique properties of water, including cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension, and explain how they affect water's chemical behavior. If you have questions, make sure you send us a message. Thanks for watching and have a great day.